Sure, good to be with you. Thank you. And yes, we're hard at work on this.
Explain how it would work.
Yes, what my legislation will do is to stop greenlighting driver's licenses for illegal immigrants. And this would block states that are sanctuary states that are giving these driver's licenses. There are now 13 states in the country doing this. We understand Virginia is looking at it. They would be the 14th. But it would block them from getting the Department of Justice grants. They're called JAG grants that are used for law enforcement. And you have this money that goes to the states or to the state and then to local entities or to local entities. And we think that taxpayer funds ought not to be going to people that are circumventing federal law.
Now, I think it's poignant that as I read the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant, the JAG grant that you talked about, named after a New York City police officer who was assassinated by drug gangs. And I think that even hits home even a little bit more, doesn't it?
Well, it does. And you know, Charles, when you think about the real ID, which is the driver's license where you have to prove who you are, that went into effect after 9/11. That is a federal mandate. States and our citizens are in the process of complying with that. And I listen to Governor Cuomo and I think how quickly you forget that you had all of these lives lost and you had these 9/11 hijackers who had overstayed their visas, and what had they gotten? What did they use to board those planes? A state-issued driver's license. This is a national security issue. It is a local security issue.
Right.
It is something that does concern our citizens. And if someone says, well, you know, it's going to have state use only on it, then are you saying you're depending on everybody that looks at that to note that somewhere on that ID is stamped state use only and be aware of what that means,
yeah, that's
of
just
how restrictive it is?
That's just being disingenuous, without a doubt.
Yes, it is.
I do, before I let you go, I want to, you know, I'm sure you know, you were the major topic of a new Taylor Swift documentary. In fact, you and I were featured in it together. I want to first share it with the audience first, and then I want to ask you about it.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Tennessee Senate candidate Marsha Blackburn is up in the polls.
Congratulations. I know you got a little momentum going there.
This is the third poll in a row that has shown you in the lead.
My team's really not happy with me right now. All I've talked about for the last couple of months is the election in Tennessee. It's not that I want to step into this, I can't not at this point.
Senator, she made some claims about you in that documentary that I bristled at, because I've known you for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just think they were so inaccurate. They portrayed you as a woman who hated other women. I mean, have you had a chance to reach out to her? And do you think this is an example of why we need to be able to articulate these messages beyond the media?
Of course it is a reason that we need to be able to articulate these messages. But Taylor is an incredibly talented young woman. I am so happy that she calls Nashville the center of her creative universe, her home. And of course, there in campaigns, people put out information that is inaccurate, and that is the information that she had. Hopefully someday she'll come work with me on passing a VAWA, passing legislation for a women's history museum, fighting human trafficking, and making certain that we make this world a safer place for women and children.
Yeah, we'd love for you two to sit down and talk about it, because I bet you'll find more in common than not. Senator Blackburn, thank you very much. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Well,